Hey guys, welcome to the show. Today we're checking out SenseNova-U1, the infographic edition. And this is actually the top open weight, open source model out there at the moment for image generation. They even have, look, let's check this out. They've got these benchmarks here. They're comparing it against GPT image, Nano Banana, C-Dream, and even Z image, all that kind of stuff. And as you can see, the scoring wise, 46.6. It's actually higher than GPT image, and it is up there. So it's a top open source model according to their benchmarks. And it's open source. We're going to go through in this video. We're going to go through running it locally. So it's running on their cloud and all the different use cases you can use with it. The special thing about this model is actually 3 models into one. So you got the LLM side of things. They're using Qwen 3, and you also the vision encoder and image generation encoder. And it works in one unified space. So that means you can do clever things such as interleaved reasoning, which means you can have it generate the text and then start generating the image and then read the image back in and generate text and continue on the whole show. So we're going to give those examples here right now. So they've actually released on their GitHub. This is the full inferencing code. So they got a series of models actually released. The infographic one is the latest one. So it's specialized that one in creating infographics, but they've got like whole examples of text to image editing, visual understanding, and lots of benchmarks that you can do and follow along. If we look at the examples, you can see this is the kind of examples that they make. You can do this nice little infographic here. It's actually very interesting. My wife's doing a PhD at the moment. She has to do an infographic recently, and she did it herself using Pixelmator. She actually did it manually using human evaluations, whereas I could have just gave this model to do it for you. So these are the kind of charts that we can do. You can even do look at research papers. So look at this right here. This is actually this was generated, this text. Okay, it's not perfect. You can see that it got a bit loopy around here, but this is today. And tomorrow it's going to improve. This stuff's going to get only better. And what's interesting is they give you the prompt so you can actually recreate this when you run it yourself. So you can run this locally through the inference code they provided. I'm going to run it locally on my Mac and my NVIDIA card. But let's just run it through the website here because it's a lot faster when you do it that way. So if you go into SenseNova's website here, they're actually running the SenseNova-U1 fast edition of this model, but you can still do interleaved reasoning and infographics. So let's go ahead and look at some of these infographics here. You got Beautiful Planet, Brain, future releases, got a mix of English and Chinese. And this is the prompt that's used, a massive prompt that they've used to make this generation. You also got this fantastic, look at that, DNA strands. You got germs. This is an incredible poster that's been made. And again, you've got the prompt that you can utilize to base yours from. We got more. This is a retro graphics over here, health check promo. And this one, oh, look at this, it's kind of schematic. You can see a wheel there. You got a processor, lots of amazing things you can do. But what I've actually done is I've launched up Inferencer over here, and I've asked it to generate an advanced prompt we can use in Inference Live to see how good it is. So let's go for the interleaved reasoning. Create a visual methodology section for machine learning PhD. Just hit send and see if this unified system can make sense of it. And it's going ahead, it's thinking through. So it's got that thinking enabled in its LLM, and it's decided now to go ahead and generate an image. So the LLM has thought through, it made a prompt and it decided to make an image. So that image has been made right there. And now it's read back the image back in. And this is the understanding of the image, and it made another prompt based on that, generated the image for it. And we've got a whole story here. And don't forget, any moment, you can always go into the gallery section for inspiration. So I've got the interleaved option ticked there, and I've got the interleaved option selected there. So look at this one. This is, all it said was design several futuristic aircraft. So it's thought about it, generated this one, and this one. That's a beautiful interleaved generation image sketching. Look at that. If you ever did graphics, then this is how the artists make the thing. They start with a little sketch and then they fill it in and then they turn it into more detailed design. So generate a series of hand-drawn designs. Also got to explain the process of the water cycle. It's kind of like a beautiful cartoon you can make for your kids to read and understand. And this one here looks very interesting. So could you please create a multi-page infographic showcasing the historical development of Shanghai? So it's thought about it, drew an image, thought about it some more, got another image of there, give you a look at a chart. We've generated a chart from this as well as maps, and it's very, very detailed. This is a nice series of design. And they even got a Little Red Riding Hood comic book section. You know what? I'm actually going to make that one. So you can even just copy this exact same prompt and run it yourself. So let's see what happens when we do that. Tell a story of Little Red Riding Hood, generated a different image because, you know, it's all a bit of randomness when you generate these images, but we've got the story as she entered the cottage. So not only is this model for infographics like you saw, you can actually do some advanced stuff maybe with their other models, but let's now go ahead and run it locally on our systems. So if you go to their GitHub page, you just grab the code here and then you fire up terminal. And if you install things like Git and all that kind of stuff installed, but let's just imagine you've done that already. So you make a new directory. So you want to type in git clone and paste that in, or you can just download the zip file, download the zip file option. The good thing about using Git is any changes that happens, you can just automatically merge it and all that kind of stuff. So that's what most people do. And once you've got that downloaded, you just enter the directory, SenseNova. And we can see if we ls it, these are all the files that are there for you. So you want to create, this guy runs in Python, so just make sure Python's installed and all that kind of stuff. So you want to create like a VM folder, and this is kind of like a virtual environment for all of our Python installation files to live in. So I've made one called venv, so cd.venv. That's what's going to contain all of our specialized Python modules. And the first thing you do is you activate it, and it's different if you're on Mac or Windows. On Mac, you type source space VM bin activate, and on Windows, you do /venv scripts activate, and that activates the environment on Windows. So let's just jump back into Mac. So now that we've got activated, you want to install pip, install e and dot, and that will install all of the required files to get it running. And again, it's the exact same operation in Windows. So pip install e dot, and it'll go ahead and download all the required packages. That stuff, if you're interested, lives inside the definition file. So there's a file called pyproject.toml, and that defines all of the modules that it will be using. So now that we've got it activated, it's just pretty easy. If you go on the website, they give you an example here. So over on the GitHub, they have an example of the exact prompt you use to generate an image. So you can copy this one. I'll show you what happens when you copy it. It is a massive prompt and most of it is in Chinese, but the key examples here is you got a model path. So this is the model you want to be using. So let's not use that exact same prompt, but let's build it ourselves. So we'll copy this Python example T2I inference. So inference.py is the inferencing code, and the model path, we don't want to be using SenseNova, the MLT one. We want to use the infographic. So you type in infographic, and the prompt, that can be whatever you want to give it. So create a poster for my PhD research ... And then next up, you choose the width you want to make the image. So this is like sort of really high resolution out of the box. So you've got 2700, 1500. That's width and height. So that's going to make a landscape one. You got configuration of the scale, the norm, the time step, and the number of steps. The number of steps is the quality. So 50 is the recommended amount, and that'll give you a high quality result. You can make it less, but the quality isn't as good. The way diffusion models work for image generation is every single step improves it and makes it a slightly different generation, but more precise. And finally, they got an output, and that's where the image is going to be generated. So if you run that, let's actually do that right now, just to show you how much memory it's going to take and all that kind of stuff. So let's just paste that in there, and it's going to go ahead and fire up the program we just downloaded. And it will, if you don't already have the model downloaded, it's going to download it and save it inside your Hugging Face cache. As you can see, it's going ahead and doing the thing it needs to do. Now you can also specify the device you're using. So if you're on NVIDIA, you can specify CUDA. If you're on Mac, you can specify MPS, or if not, you can do it automatically on the CPU, which is what's going to do there. If you are running it, it requires 40 GB of memory to run this specific model. So you need a high memory system. On my Windows system, I only have a 32 gigabyte graphics card, so I spill over into my shared GPU memory, but nonetheless it does work. So we can see here, this is using the base SenseNova model, and that generated this image based on that prompt. But you can also generate the more advanced one. So for example, this was the one suggested by, I think GLM specified this one, and that was making an infographic for HCI research poster with mockup. So it made like a kind of like paper for it. Now this was only using 25 steps, so it's half the quality of the 50. So it does take tens of minutes to make these generations, especially because I don't have the full amount of memory required for this model. Now there are GGUF, so there's more compressed versions of this model you can get, but again, you're going to be sacrificing a little bit of the quality. So this is after 25 steps. Generally, you can see it's got the structure, the layout is beautiful, but you need to fill in the gaps here. And this is with 50 steps, so it's kind of like improved. I haven't tried it with more than 50 steps. I don't know if it will get any better. The training data suggests that it's been trained for 50 steps, but you can see that the gap between 25 and 50, you know, it's kind of like maybe another 50% quality for the extra processing of it. But you can see it's making the layouts for the infographics like we saw you could do when you're running straight from the studio itself. And on the Mac side of things, again, I also made generations here. So I've got an output folder. So once again, we got the exact same generation that we made on the Mac as well as Windows. We made this neural oscillating dynamics transformer architectures. That's after 25 steps. And this one was after 50 steps. So as you can see, this is currently the best open weight, open source model according to the benchmarks here. And it's available today to download from Hugging Face and GitHub if you want to inference it locally, or if you want to go on their chat website and make the generation themselves, even use the interleaved reasoning. You want to make a little storybook for your kids or anything like that, you can even use it for that. So let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys found this video useful and enjoyed the show.